you were talking about Tilopa. I just read the Life and Times of Milarepa, and there was a couple things in there. The transference of consciousness. Is that possible?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's not just possible, it is how the Siddha Tantra works.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that it works, it is just what it is. A transference of consciousness means that your individuality, individual self is dissolved into that collective, kind of a collective higher frequency field. So you think, of course, it sounds like somebody gives something, like puts something in your vessel, yeah. But a body could be a vessel to a higher frequency or higher consciousness, which is more unified. Because in a dispersed way, you think that you're one being, one unit. But on a higher collective conscious level, you're many. So the fact that we have now different bodies and they're not very potent and they live very short time is because we represent some fragments of the collective consciousness. But the more we become unified, the more potent, long-lived and powerful we become in the spiritual sense, because we're a unified field. There can be in one body, many. It's not a usual phenomenon, but it may happen. So in higher yugas, there are less bodies, but they're more potent, as in a spiritual essence. And so this knowledge is definitely not for current humanity or its understanding, because the whole humanity is dispersed into different bodies, different aspects of the collective self, so we cannot understand what we are. I've actually just posted this video, is enlightenment collective for individuals, so this is kind of very much about this. And the transference of consciousness definitely there. But it's not a transference, it's when you, as an individual consciousness, dissolve those boundaries that do not allow you to perceive that frequency, and you carry that field or that connection with that higher field, so that that frequency starts permeating your being, so you start vibrating that being.
He also spoke about the fire of Tuma. What did he mean by that? Was that another name for Kundalini?
Yeah.
Just a Buddhist way of expressing it?
Yeah, it's they're stimulating different glands, centers, but after all, it's all about pituitary gland stimulation. They're in a chamber. And now all of this knowledge has to be, one has to have that inner purity to kind of realize the essence of that. You have to contemplate, but once you reach that level of humility, it just opens up within you. It doesn't even matter who tells you what. If it's not your experience, what's the point? If you feel that connection, you feel inner heat, and then the practice itself aims at directing this energy towards whatever projected reality, again, using that power for whatever demonstration of different abilities, you know. But the question arises, is this the purpose? No, this is not the purpose, because all of these things could be fascinating or are fascinating for some people, and they think that spirituality is about these abilities or some kind of practices. Well, achievements in this field Well, if you like it, it's like some people spend their whole life learning accounting or physics, or they're trying to become exalted in some field, and yet they still die as they die, and they still suffer as they suffer. So it's just certain abilities you focus on, and probably you can achieve some success in that, but there's nothing to do with spiritual evolution. Because spiritual evolution is about gaining this clarity, being connected with a higher frequency, so that this individuality, the corrupt self, is dissolved. Once it's dissolved, you naturally exhibit such qualities as humility, as all-knowing, as autonomy, as spiritual wisdom, or any kind of wisdom. You start emanating that. You don't need to anymore express anything, it's just visible. You emanate awareness, high frequency. So you emanate honor, dignity, the qualities of a higher soul. That's an achievement, that's an evolution. To demonstrate some kind of magical tricks is very easy, anyone can do. But to be humble, to be honorable, to live in dignity, in truth, in honesty, openness and sincerity seems to be the hardest task in this Kali Yuga. Because these qualities are of higher eras and higher souls. By practicing forcefully these qualities, we cannot become kind, honorable, and humble. We can be wannabes, we can be hypocrites, spiritual hypocrites, but once we are emanating that, even without doing anything, speaking to anyone, we are emanating that honor and dignity and respect. Because we respect ourselves, we respect others, we honor creation in whichever form, without allowing that creation to consume us. So that's why it's kind of like we start living in this beautiful symbiosis with creation, where creation starts supporting our existence rather than we antagonize with it. That's the wisdom. So. What do you think Shaktipat is? Isn't it a transference of consciousness?
That was my answer, yes.
But again, lots of people nowadays offer Shaktipat, but they are nothing. Because our highest soul is a unified being, unified field of existence, which includes all the elements within itself. All those elements who come for initiation, who are anyhow feel connection to it, they're already within that field. That's why it's just about activation, because they're already within the field. Otherwise, they wouldn't have recognized the source.